You open QuickBooks, you stare at the screen, and somehow the longer you look, the less you understand. You're just trying to answer one simple question. How is my business actually doing? And all that data just leaves you more confused than when you started. If that's you, you're not alone. And here's the thing, you don't have a data problem. You have a too much of the wrong data problem. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to fix it.
Welcome to the Lawyer Millionaire Podcast, the show where law firm owners learn to build wealth, scale their firms, and design the life of freedom they deserve. Hosted by Darren Wurz, business and wealth advisor for law firm owners and author of The Lawyer Millionaire, this podcast delivers the strategies and inspiration you need to break free from the grind and become the financial success you envision. Let's dive in.
Hey friend, welcome back to the Lawyer Millionaire Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Wurz. So let me ask you something right now, today. How is your business doing financially? Not last quarter, not what your gut tells you, not the vibe, right now. Could you give me a real answer, a real number? And if you had to go find that answer, where would you even look? Do you open QuickBooks? Do you know what you're even looking for when you get there? For a lot of firm owners, the honest answer is, I'm not totally sure. And that's not a character flaw. That's just a systems problem. So today, we're going to fix it. We live in the age of data. We can measure almost anything now. And you would think that would make running a business easier. Well, it doesn't. Most of the time, all that data just creates more confusion, not more clarity. We build these beautiful dashboards stuffed with click rates and engaged views and return on ad spend, numbers everywhere, and we mistake the volume of data for insight. So let me tell you this very plainly. You don't need more data. You actually might need less. But what you really need is the right data at the right time, and you need it on a regular rhythm. So you always know how your business is doing, and you can spot a problem before it becomes a crisis. That is what today is about. The handful of reports you need to review daily, weekly, and monthly to know the financial pulse of your firm. Not 20 reports, a handful. The ones that actually matter. And here's why this matters. You have to know where your cash is, when it's arriving, where it's coming from, and where it's going. Because if you don't, you can build a perfectly profitable business that runs completely out of money. Wow! And this is how you avoid nightmare scenarios, like not making payroll, bouncing checks, racking up credit card debt, or drawing on your line of credit just to fund normal operations. All of these things can happen even when you're profitable. And, it's bigger than just avoiding disaster. This is how you stay on track to your goals. Because goals don't get hit haphazardly. Then they don't get hit with wishful thinking. They get hit with intentional action and course correction. You set the target, then you adjust week after week until you arrive. I know we're so big on setting goals. The beginning of the year, we set goals. By the way, how are you doing on those goals you set in January? Well, goals are useless unless you're actually looking at them every single day and you're measuring your progress every single day. So let me ask you something. Do you want a business that just gets by? Or do you want a profit powerhouse? Because great firms are not built by laissez-faire leadership. They're built by owners who know their numbers. So let's get into exactly what those numbers are. First, on the daily, there's your daily cash balance report. Every day, you want a simple cash report. 2 things on it. Which customers paid today, and what your cash balance is after today's activity. And one more layer, what your balance will be once all your outstanding checks clear. Now, if you were following along with us through Profit First in Q1, this fits right in. Glance at your sub-accounts, especially your operating expense account. And where are the levels? Are the levels where they should be? Now, I know this sounds almost too simple to matter, but it matters enormously. Because in 30 seconds a day, you can see whether that long overdue invoice finally got paid. You learn who pays you on time and who doesn't. And if cash is getting low, you find out today when you still have time to do something about it, instead of finding out on Payroll Friday. Daily cash, 30 seconds, that's the foundation. Now, on a weekly basis, we are going to look at 3 reports. Oh, don't panic. Stay with me now. Once a week, you're going to look at these 3 things. First, your weekly cash flow forecast. The whole job of this report is one thing. Make sure there's money in the bank when the bills come due. At a minimum, run a rolling 4-week projection of the money coming in and the money going out of your operating account. The gold standard is a rolling 13 weeks. But don't let perfect stop you. Start with 4. Each week, the current week drops off and you add a new week onto the end. Look at that. It keeps rolling forward. Break your payables into categories that make sense to you. General bills, payroll taxes and benefits, rent, debt payments, and owner distributions, your draws. If you're running Profit First, you've already got a separate bucket for owner pay and maybe a separate one for payroll too. Even better. This report just got a whole lot easier. Remember, we're looking at the actual things that are coming out of cash, right? Not necessarily the actual expenses, because you probably have a lot of things going on credit cards for points. Okay, second, your weekly collections and productivity report. This one tracks your gross profit and your total labor cost every week, and it rolls it up month to date and quarter to date. Here's the thing that you really need to be watching in this report, your labor efficiency ratio. Does that sound familiar? It should. We've been talking about it on this show. The target here is 2. Meaning for every $1 you spend on total labor cost, you should be generating at least $2 of gross profit. If you're getting more, great. In other words, labor should be eating up no more than half of your gross profit. And you want to measure this for your attorneys specifically, and you may want to have some additional metrics for them too. Every single week. Are they being productive? Are they billing? Are they collecting? Those are the things we need to look at. While you're in here, look at the front end too. Consults booked, matters opened, the value and quality of your pipeline. Put all that together and you've got the genuine pulse of your business. What's coming in the door and how efficiently you are turning it into profit. Okay, so we've got your weekly cash flow forecast, your weekly collections and productivity report, and finally, your weekly profit forecast. Well, didn't we just do a forecast? Well, let's be clear. This is not the same as your cash flow forecast. Cash flow asks, do I have money in the bank this week? Profit asks a different question. How are we going to end the quarter? So at the start of the quarter, you forecast where profit will land at the end of the quarter. Then, every week, you update your quarter-to-date income and expenses and adjust. And here's the beautiful part. As you get closer to the end of the quarter, the forecast dials in tighter and tighter. The heavy lifting is setting it up at the beginning of the quarter. After that, it's just quick and easy. Most of your expenses recur anyway, and you can estimate the variable stuff, case costs, new revenue from your pipeline, your average close rate, and your collections. You'll be surprised how powerful this is in your decision making, my friend. You'll either feel great about that new expense because you've got plenty of profit forecasted, or you'll put it on hold knowing that you're kind of getting close to going below your profit target. So that's your weekly rhythm: cash flow, collections and productivity, and your profit forecast. Now, one last one, and that's on a monthly. Monthly, you're going to look at your rolling 12-month profit report. Once a month, you zoom out. This one's backwards looking. It tells you simply, over the last 12 months, did you make or lose money? Now, I know we're used to looking at 12 months when we get to the end of the year, but you should be looking at the last 12 months every single month because that's giving you some really, really important information. It's a rolling 12, not individual months, because any single month can be lumpy, seasonal, distorted by one big case or one big expense. A rolling 12-month view always looks at the previous 12 months from the current month going backwards. For instance, at the end of June, I'm looking at how the period of June 2025 to June 2026 did and comparing it to May 25 to May 26. This smooths out all the seasonal variability and shows you the real trend. Each month, you just add the newest month and update. Now, before we wrap up, two things that are going to make or break this whole thing for you. First of all, you are not the one producing these reports, or at least you shouldn't be. Your team is. Your job is to review them, ask the questions, and make the decisions. If building these reports lands on your plate every week, the system will probably die. So, delegate it, hand it off. Number two, you want to keep your reports simple. Really important. Complexity is the enemy here. The more cluttered and complicated your reporting gets, the less you'll actually use it. And a report you don't use is worthless. Simple, consistent, and actually looked at beats sophisticated and ignored every time. Here's my bottom line for you. You have to know your numbers. And you have to know the direction that your business is heading in. You know, friend, it's so tempting just to bury your head in the sand and check your numbers at the end of the quarter and hope it all worked out. And you're having these team meetings throughout the quarter and looking at your profit target and, well, we'll see how we do. No, that's a recipe for missing your goals at best and payroll panic at worst. Your reports might not look exactly like mine, and they shouldn't. You've got to tailor them to you and your firm, but the principles don't change. Watch your cash daily, watch the right metrics weekly, forecast your cash flow and your profit, and track your profit on a rolling basis. This, my friend, is how you actually make your firm wildly profitable. You set a big goal, then you monitor, you track, you adjust, and you align every action toward that goal. Set the goal, map it out, track your progress. That's the whole game. And you'll be surprised how powerful this is. Do you want to make this year your most profitable year yet? Gosh darn it, track your profit and put that number in front of you every single day. And by the way, this is exactly the work that we do here at The Lawyer Millionaire. Our advisory team is here to help you transform your law firm into a profitable money-printing enterprise so you can get out of debt, pay for your kids' college, buy that dream vacation home, retire in Costa Rica, whatever your version of freedom looks like. When you work with us, you don't just get one person, you get a whole team focused on your financial success. A business advisor, a CPA, and a CFP all working together to help you get there. Now, I've got a special treat just for you. We've put together a free reporting pack with templates for every single report that I just walked through. The daily cash, the cash flow forecast, the collections and productivity, the profit forecast, all of it. Just click the link in the show notes below and download it. It's yours. And if you want help putting this into action in your own firm, reach out to our team. The link to schedule an intro call is right down there too. Well, that's it for today, friend. But remember one thing. If your law firm isn't building you wealth and freedom, What the hell are you doing? Can I get an amen out there? Now, go make it happen, and I'll see you next time.
Are you a law firm owner looking to build real wealth and break free from the daily grind? On the Lawyer Millionaire podcast, we share practical strategies to grow your practice, maximize profits, and create the financial freedom you deserve. Join host Darren Wurz as he interviews top experts and successful law firm leaders who share their secrets. Don't just practice law, build a legacy. Listen now to The Lawyer Millionaire wherever you get your podcast. The Lawyer Millionaire podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as legal, tax, or investment advice. Listeners should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial or business decisions. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Darren Wurz or Lawyer Millionaire Wealth Advisors.